Narayan Narayan, Namaste. Welcome back to Zeel's Astrology. Now, if you preferred this video, watching this video in Hindi, then I have given the link in the description box below. So please do check it out if you prefer Hindi. So let's begin with today's video. So from October 3rd, Saturn will move back into the Nakshatra of Purvabhadrapada in Pisces while still being in retrograde motion. Saturn will remain retrograde in this nakshatra until November 28th. On this day, on November 28th, still in Pisces, in the same nakshatra, Saturn will turn direct again. Later on, January 2026, Saturn will shift forward into Uttar Bhadrapad nakshatra. In this video, I will be talking only about Saturn's retrograde motion or retrograde stay in Purvabhadrapada up until 28th November. Now let's understand why this phase will be very important for all of us. Whenever a planet goes retrograde, it slows down. And because of this, the results it gives become stronger and more intense. And please subscribe to my channel as it really helps me bring even more better content for you. If you like what you see, make sure to like, share my videos with your friends and family, and do not forget to hype up this video. The more we share, the more people we can reach, and who knows, it might help someone who really needs it. Your support means a lot here, and you can also follow me on my Insta page. And for consultations, please drop me an email. All the links are given in the description box below. Now Saturn is retrograde and it is entering Purvabhadrapada nakshatra, which is known as a fierce and a powerful nakshatra. This nakshatra is ruled by one of the forms of Rudra called Ajayikpada, and it is ruled by Jupiter. It comes under the rulership of Jupiter. The reason Purvabhadrapada is called fierce is because it represents a funeral court, a funeral pyre, the stage of transformation and endings. It symbolizes the burning away of things, or I can say burning away of things what is negative, so that the soul can rise again in a pure form, almost like being reborn from ashes. This process is never easy, and that is why this nakshatra is considered intense and challenging. Saturn, while retrograde, will only be moving through the fourth pada of Purvabhadrapada in Pisces, because the fourth pada of Purvabhadrapada falls in Pisces, and the first, second and the third pada falls in the Aquarius part of this nakshatra. So this energy will be working in Pisces. And also this shift of Saturn is quite significant, because at the same time Rahu as of now is transiting the sign of Aquarius. It is in the Aquarius portion of Purvabhadrapada. So both Saturn and Rahu are positioned in different signs, but still within the same nakshatra. This makes the period even more important. To be honest, this transit will not be completely easy, either individually or globally or collectively. Saturn is very strong here, being retrograde in such a fiery nakshatra, and Rahu's presence in the same nakshatra adds another layer of intensity. Saturn is also dispositor of Rahu, which means their link becomes even stronger. And since Pisces is a sign connected with losses, sacrifices and letting go, this period may bring such themes more strongly into our lives. Apart from that, during this period, terrorism will rise or may rise. Many people will also become angry and violent in nature. Not everyone, but many people. Frustration, jealousy, revenge among people will increase a lot during this time. Communal and religious riots or violence may increase as well. And I don't want to sound overly negative here, but I prefer being honest and clear rather than sugarcoating things. If something looks positive, I always say it, but if the energies look heavy, I cannot pretend otherwise. Of course, the final results always depends on each person's individual birth charts. Always remember that. So what I am saying here is general in nature. Compared to the time Saturn was in Uttarbhadrapada, this phase in Purvabhadrapada may feel more intense. The retrograde motion itself in Purvabhadrapada makes Saturn's lessons heavier, and often it brings situation where we need to review or repeat things before moving forward. One major event to keep in mind during this phase is Jupiter's transit into Cancer on 18th of October this month 2025. This is important because Jupiter is the dispositor of Saturn, and Saturn is in Purvabhadrapada, again a nakshatra ruled by Jupiter. Rahu is also in Purvabhadrapada, and once Jupiter enters Cancer, it will directly aspect Pisces and Saturn from its ninth aspect, and this will play a very big role in shaping how the retrograde Saturn energy unfolds during this time. Jupiter will be in the sign of Cancer from October 18 till December 5. So that period will be very important and a major period as well. Many people believe that Jupiter's aspects are always very positive and are like a blessing and a saving grace that calms things down. And I do not disagree with that is true. But from my own understanding and experience, whenever two big planets like Saturn and Jupiter connect strongly, it usually brings very significant changes. In this case, Jupiter is not only the dispositor of Saturn, but it is also directly aspecting Pisces and Saturn. And apart from that, Saturn is in Purvabhadrapada. Jupiter will be in Punarvasu this entire time. So Punarvasu is again ruled by Jupiter. So, and Jupiter and Cancer is the exaltation sign of Jupiter. So this means the connection between becomes even more powerful, and such a connection can lead to big transformations in our life. These changes may not feel easy in the beginning. Listen to me carefully. These changes this time may not feel very easy in the beginning. They may feel uncomfortable or even heavy initially. But these transformations are necessary according to both Jupiter and Saturn for you. And this will happen on both individual and at global level as well. Each person will experience it according to their own birth chart and planetary position. But the theme will be the same. Something important, something necessary will be shifting. And I said earlier, Jupiter will be aspecting Saturn and Pisces from Cancer. So this period will be very significant, and until Saturn is retro in this Purvabhadrapada, it can bring sacrifices, losses and situations that test patience, not just personally but also for the world as a whole. I'm not saying this to create fear, but because this is what the planetary movement suggests right now. It's better to be mentally prepared for what is coming rather than to be caught by surprise. And these sacrifices or losses does not mean that everything will be negative or everything will be positive. It can be both. Maybe you have to sacrifice your eating habits for a better health. Saturn may create a situation according to your chart where you may have to sacrifice certain kind of food for your better health. Maybe you have to sacrifice certain amount of your wealth or material possessions. Maybe you have to sacrifice your ego as well. It could be anything and everything. And if I focus on Saturn's retrograde in Purvabhadrapada, this is a nakshatra, as said earlier, is known for intensity and challenges, and Saturn in retrograde here can stir up difficult events. We may see increases in violence, conflicts, warlike situations. Natural calamities will be prominent like earthquakes and cyclones, and even communal unrest. For India especially, this period looks challenging, and issues like farmer protest could rise strongly during this time. And yes, accidents can even rise during this time. So be very careful. while driving or doing any other work or activity, whether at home or outside. Still, even with all these, Jupiter's aspect on Pisces cannot be ignored. Jupiter always carries a protective energy, so while challenges may come, there will always be a divine grace working quietly in the background. The true positive results of this period may only be seen later. For someone it can be after few months, for someone it can be after few years, depending on each person's chart and their life path. The most important thing to remember is that this is a time of cleansing and transformation. Those who truly keep faith, who love God with sincerity rather than fear, will feel the protection of the divine more strongly and will be saved from the negativity. Challenges may come, but they will eventually lead toward something higher and better. Now, if we look at the brighter side of this transit, one of the biggest positives is that it can help you finish pending work or incomplete task, especially if you have been putting a sincere hard work, a sincere effort for a long time. Retrograde Saturn often brings situation where you have to redo or revisit something, and this time that redo factor becomes even stronger. The reason is that Jupiter is in Punarvasu Nakshatra, which itself represents repetition, renewal, and trying again and again. At the same time, both Rahu and Saturn are placed in nakshatras ruled by Jupiter. Saturn is retrograde here, so again retrograde planet also represents redo work. Pisces is ruled by Jupiter. So Jupiter is holding a lot of influence here right now. And Saturn being retrograde, all these combinations which makes this theme of redoing and restructuring very, very active. Since Pisces is highly active during this period, some form of sacrifice will also be asked from us, as said earlier. And also, when this Jupiter will go retrograde in Punarvasu, this redoing factor will even increase more. So be prepared for that. Another important positive of this time is connected to spirituality. Those who walk sincerely on the path of righteousness will find that somehow they are supported even when situations become tough. Their inner strength and faith will guide them through. Luck will quietly favor them and they will be able to handle challenges better than expected. And for people who are truly spiritual, not just in name but with real devotion, this will be a time of deep growth. They may feel a stronger connection with the divine and experience a natural rise in their spiritual practice. However, there is also a unique planetary situation here from mid-October till December. While Jupiter is in Cancer, it will not aspect Sagittarius from mid-October till December because it will be in Cancer. So right now Jupiter is in Gemini, that's why it is aspecting Sagittarius with its 7th aspect. But when it will move to Cancer, that aspect will no longer be there. So during this time, that blessing will not be there of Jupiter. Sagittarius at that time will only carry the influence of retrograde Saturn and Ketu, because Sagittarius right now is having aspect of 3 planets: Jupiter, retro Saturn and Ketu. And once Jupiter moves out of Gemini, its aspect will shift towards Capricorn from Sagittarius. So Sagittarius will only have retro Saturn and Ketu's aspect. So the blessing or the saving grace of Jupiter on Sagittarius will not be there. And from October 27th to December 7th, Mars will be in Scorpio with Mercury. Mercury will be there in the sign of Scorpio for some days. And this combination can create tricky energies where backstabbing, betrayals or conflicts could increase. Especially these could be linked to religion, dharma, beliefs and all that. And when Mars moves into Sagittarius itself between December 7th till I think till 11th of January. I didn't remember the dates exactly, but when Mars will move into Sagittarius from December 7th until it will be present in Sagittarius, for these days, that many days, that period could become quite critical, especially for countries or regions already facing wars, violence, or internal conflicts. New tensions could also arise in places that are currently peaceful. So both Sagittarius and Pisces, the two signs of Jupiter, will feel strong effects during this time. Now, if I try to explain this energy, the energy of this period in a very symbolic way, the best example of retro Saturn in Purvabhadrapada would be Samudra Manthan, the churning of the ocean. And why Samudra Manthan is the best example for understanding the energy of Purvabhadrapada here, retro Saturn in Purvabhadrapada. I will try to explain it step by step. So Purvabhadrapada is a funeral pyre, as said earlier, where you have to burn away your negativity and impurities. When you reach this nakshatra from Ashwini till Satabisha, when you cross all these nakshatras and when you reach Purvabhadrapada, you might have accumulated many positive and negative energies and many positive and negativity in all these nakshatras. And when you reach Purvabhadrapada, you have to burn away your negativity and impurities here, because Purvabhadrapada is the third last nakshatra. When you burn away your negativity and impurities, you have to burn away that old self. You have to rise again from your own ashes and become pure. Your soul should become pure here by burning away all the negativity. And only after burning away all those things, only after coming out as a pure soul, you can move forward to Uttar Bhadrapada, the second last nakshatra. Uttar Bhadrapada, you can consider Uttar Bhadrapada as a route towards moksha or liberation. And when you cross Uttar Bhadrapada, you reach Revati, the place where you get moksha, the ultimate salvation, or where Vaikuntha or Kailash lies. So, if I talk about the Samudra Manthan, connect this to Samudra Manthan, so the Devtas are represent as the purity of the soul. Samudra Manthan is connected to Devas and Asuras. So Devas are considered the pure soul, and while Asuras represent our mind trapped into ego and illusion and all the negativity. Now our soul is always pure, but our mind and body often push us into wrong actions. So in this story, the Devas fall into arrogance and ego, thinking they were superior and deserved worship from all, and they are the best. In this pride, Indra, the king of the Devtas, insulted Rishi Durvasa, and in turn Rishi Durvasa cursed the Devtas, causing them to lose their Lakshmi, their power, their divine Shakti. So without Lakshmi, they lost their strength, their power. And the Asuras, the negativity, took this chance to defeat the positivity, to defeat the Devtas and take control of the Swarga. So the Devtas then went to the Lord Vishnu and the Lord Shiv and Lord Brahma, the Trinity, and they were told to perform Samudra Manthan by the Trinity, the churning of the ocean. The ocean, they said that the ocean itself holds many treasures deep inside, both good and bad, including Mata Mahalakshmi. She is deep inside the ocean, and you would need to churn the ocean so that everything comes out. And including that, the ocean also holds Amrit, the nectar of immortality. So if Devtas get this Amrit, they will be very powerful. No one will be able to kill them. They will be immortal. And to churn the ocean was not an easy task. It needed immense strength, long time, and constant effort. And the Samudra Manthan, as per the scriptures, took almost thousands of years to conclude. It was a long, tiring process, exhausting process, requiring endless patience. The Devatas and the Asuras agreed that whatever emerged from the oceans would be shared equally, and they began the great churning. The Devatas and Asuras did this Samudra Manthan together because Devatas didn't have the strength to do the churning of the ocean alone. They needed the strength of Asuras. But they did not have a rope strong enough that could last for thousands of years. So they used the divine snake, the divine serpent, Bhagwan Vasuki, who adorns Lord Shiva's neck. When the churning began, Vasuki was pulled from both the sides, and and because of this, Vasuki ji suffered immense pain. And because of that pain, from his mouth, the poison began to spill out in the ocean. And this poison was no ordinary poison, because it was Bhagwan Vasuki. Vasuki itself is not an ordinary snake, so the poison is also not ordinary. And that poison spread across the ocean, and from that poison emerged Halahal Vish, so which threatened to destroy the entire world itself. So at this moment, Lord Shiva stepped forward and drank the poison to save the universe, but he did not let it pass through his body. He held it in his throat, which turned blue. This act carries a deep lesson before reaching the nectar of life. Nectar of life, Amrit here means moksha. If you want to reach Amrit, if you want to reach the moksha, then you must first face the poison. You must first accept the negativity within you. You must accept the positivity within you. You must accept, and you must remove all those negativity within you. You must burn that. And then you should come out as a pure soul by just accepting the positivity. And before purity comes here, impurities rise to the surface. To reach Amrit, to reach Moksha, one must accept and endure the bitterness without letting it destroy the self. This is what Purvabhadrapada teaches. We have all the positives and negatives. Even during Samudra Manthan, many good and bad things came out from the ocean. Many good and bad treasures came out, and it was divided. It is you who choose. Devatas and Asuras chose particular things. So just like that, it's on us what we choose. Are we accepting the positive, or are we accepting the negative? And then we need to burn that negativity within us. And then we should move forward as a pure soul. Only then we can reach moksha. We can reach the Amrit Rupi Moksha. To rise higher, you must first burn away your darkness, face your inner poison, and then only you can move forward toward purity and liberation. So this is what the example tries to teach us. I hope I was able to explain you. Now, who will be the most affected by this transit? Those people who have any planets placed in Aquarius, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, Virgo, Sagittarius, or Taurus. Or if you are these ascendants or moon sign, then you are likely to notice the changes most deeply. It will strongly affect all those who have planets in Purvabhadrapada, Vishakha, and Punarvasu. And if someone has Saturn-Rahu conjunction, Saturn-Jupiter conjunction, or Saturn or Rahu especially placed in Purvabhadrapada, then this period will be very significant for them as well. Now, what you can do for remedial part? The most powerful remedies are to recite Vishnu Sahasranam, Narayan Kavash and Yamuna Kavash regularly. Now, I am mentioning Yamuna Kavash specifically is because if you are fearing something, especially life-threatening fears, then it will be very helpful in helping you out of such fears. Another very simple and beautiful practice is to chant Shri Krishna Sharnam Mama or Om Namah Shivaya whenever you get time. This is very simple, which you can do. This will support you in balancing the heavy energy of this transit. These chants and prayers not only calm the restless mind but also give a deep sense of peace and inner strength, which will be much needed during this phase. Aries ascendant and moon sign. For Aries natives, retrograde Saturn will move into Purvabhadrapada Nakshatra in your 12th house, the sign of Pisces. Now this house deals with expenses, foreign land, spirituality and lot of hidden fears. Saturn rules your 10th and 11th house, so when it comes here, you may need to be extra mindful, especially with money. Rahu will also be connected here as Saturn is your 12th lord and Rahu is positioned in the 11th house as of now. So this shows that if you run too much after illusions, desires or quick material gains, Saturn can create some financial challenges or sudden expenses. So it's important to manage your money wisely during this time. Do not waste your money on unnecessary things. Now, if you have been waiting for a job for a long time, especially something related to MNC companies, foreign companies or any kind of work linked with abroad, then this transit can open up opportunities for you. But Saturn always demands real effort, real hard work. So the result will come only after hard work and patience. It won't be an easy or smooth ride, but it can bring progress if you really focus on giving your 100%. Health may also need attention during this time. Sleep could also be disturbed here. Even when there is no big problem, you might still feel stressed or overthink small things, making them feel bigger than they actually are. So try to stay calm and patient. Saturn here wants you to go with the flow instead of resisting challenges. The more you resist, the harder it feels. But if you accept and keep putting in effort, Saturn will support you for a long run. So just to go with the flow. Now from mid-October, when Jupiter enters the sign of Cancer, some of you may get opportunity to travel abroad or relocate if your personal chart supports it. But do it very wisely and cautiously. This can be for, this travel can also be for work or other purposes as well. On a spiritual side, this period is like a golden period for people who are truly sincere on the path of spirituality, not just for showing off. Then this transit can bring deeper inner growth and a stronger connection with God. At the same time, be careful of bad habits or addictions. Things like alcohol, smoking or other intoxications can harm you more strongly during this transit. Try to stay away from them. Saturn will also bring your hidden fears to the surface this time, so that you face them instead of running away. And you will have to face them. So instead of running away from your fears, try to face them and try to come out of it. Only then you will feel some peace of mind here. Sometimes Saturn in this place may ask you to let go of something as well. It could be money, it could be some attachment, or even an old way of thinking as well. And this sacrifice is not always about losing someone. It can also mean burning your old mindset as well for some people. Maybe say for example you are someone is an orthodox person, and Saturn may create a situation where this person has to let go of that rigid mindset. and may have to come out as a more open and refreshed person. And if you resist these things, then Saturn will make things even more difficult for you. Apart from all these things, I already shared, this period can also bring some confusion, frustration, or even anger, because situation may not move as per your wishes. If things don't go the way you want, please try not to get stuck in negative emotions like anger, jealousy, or irritation, frustration. Instead, focus on improving yourself, working hard, and giving your best. Whatever karma you do never goes wasted. Always remember that. Its results may come in the short term, or maybe later in this life, or even in the next birth as well. But it will surely come. Karmas never go wasted. You have to face the results of the karmas you have performed, whether these karmas are good or bad, whether in this birth or in next birth. That is why trusting the process and keeping faith in God is very important during this time. And it is also advisable that please walk on the path of spirituality. It will bring a lot of peace of mind to you during this time. Spirituality will be your biggest strength. If you hold on to faith in God and stay on the path of righteousness, performing your duties sincerely without complaining, then you will be protected by the divine. Just like Lord Vishnu always came to protect Bhakt Prahlad in his most difficult times, in the same way, God too will stand up with you and hold your hand even in the toughest moments. But you need to keep your faith and be on the right path. Now, looking at Saturn's aspect, Saturn's third aspect falls on your second house, the sign of Taurus. This will make matters of finance and family come into focus. Since Saturn is retrograde and placed in Purvabhadrapada, this aspect becomes stronger. I always see Saturn's third aspect is an aspect of purification. This means whatever is unhealthy or needs fixing in your family life or finances will now come to the surface so that you can work on it. Think it like Samudra Manthan, the example I gave in the general section of this video, where both poison and nectar rise together. In the same way, both positives and negatives may show up in your life, in your family, in your money matters. And Saturn will ask you to choose wisely and let go of the negativity. If you fulfill your family duties sincerely and manage your karma well, Saturn will itself bless you with the energy and positivity. This is also a time to be practical with money, avoid unnecessary expenses, especially on luxury items. Save as much as you can and put it into safe investments where risk is the lowest. Now, the Saturn's seventh aspect will fall on your sixth house, the sign of Virgo. This can bring progress in areas like daily routine disputes or challenges from enemies. If you are dealing in court cases, loans, or adversaries, this period can push matters towards resolution if your chart supports. But keep in mind, solutions may not come exactly in the way you expect. They might come in a different way, in a crooked form. For example, you may get a loan, but the amount could be less than what you wanted. Or you may resolve a dispute, but not in the way you had hoped. Still, the important thing is that solutions will start moving forward if there is delay since a long time. Health is also a big focus here. Take care of both physical and mental health. Eat well, keep discipline in your daily routine. Do meditation, yoga, or whatever exercise suits you as per your health. If you follow discipline, Saturn will slowly show you the path of recovery. Job seekers may finally see some opportunities now, but again only through steady and sincere hard work. Nothing will come easily in this period, but effort will bring good results even in the future. Now, Saturn's 10th aspect falls on your 9th house, Sagittarius. This area is under heavy influence, not only Saturn Retrograde Saturn is aspecting here, but Ketu is also aspecting here. And from 19th of October, 18th of October, when Jupiter will enter the sign of Cancer, it will no longer aspect Sagittarius until it is present in the sign of Cancer. This means Jupiter's protective grace will not be there for some time. So this part of life may feel little bit shaky. During this time, you need to take special care of your father's health or resolve any long-standing issues he might have. Some of you may also face disagreements with father-like figures, your elders, or even gurus. For travel plans, especially long distance or foreign travels, delays or extra paperwork can happen. Sometimes you may have to reschedule or redo things here, and be careful while traveling. On the other hand, if you are planning spiritual journey, then here you have to be careful. Although this is supportive period, but still you need to be careful here, and small hurdles can also appear, so be careful. Students too need to be careful now, because Jupiter's blessing will not be on Sagittarius for about 2 months, so focus may be difficult and distractions may easily come. So students need to stay very disciplined and revise their studies again and again, and they need to focus on their studies and avoid distractions. But for those who are walking on the path of spirituality with true devotion, this transit is very good. Saturn can deepen your faith. Saturn can deepen your faith and help you connect more strongly with the divine. Taurus ascendant and moon sign. For Taurus native, Saturn is now retrograde in your 11th house in the sign of Pisces and has entered Purvabhadrapada Nakshatra in the same Rashi. If you have been struggling with money or waiting for some stability, then this phase can slowly bring you new relief and fresh opportunities. Rahu is also in Purvabhadrapada in your 10th house, which means if you have been waiting for a job for a long time, this period can finally help you get one, and bringing some financial improvement. But still, Saturn may not allow you to feel completely free with money, so being careful with your finances is important. From mid-October until December 5, Jupiter will be in the sign of Cancer and will aspect both Saturn and Pisces. That time can feel lighter and bring more relief in finances. You may also notice some big changes connected to your 11th house. If you have been working hard towards a goal but haven't yet reached it, this could be the time when you finally see the results of your efforts. Saturn in the 11th house wants you to stay very wise and honest in your work. Do not try shortcuts, wrong methods, or dishonest ways for money or achievements, because Saturn will not support that. If you stay true, responsible, and consistent, Saturn will surely give you growth, even if it takes time. Now, when Jupiter will enter Cancer, at that time, there is also a chance of promotion or some rise in your professional life, depending on your personal chart, if that allows. That period may bring major changes in your career as well. The best way to handle this energy is to go with the flow and stay calm. There can still be some challenges while Saturn stays in Purvabhadrapada. At work, you may face issues with co-workers or higher authorities, so be extra careful with your words and actions. In personal life, there could be misunderstandings with elder siblings, maybe your close friends or people in your social circle. Saturn might even reduce the size of your social circle, but the relationships that remain will be highly karmic in nature during this period, especially in a social circle, the friends and all. Now, for those on a spiritual path, this is a very good time, a very good period. Saturn in this position can open doors for spiritual growth. If you are planning any long journeys, then make sure to plan carefully and avoid being careless. Also, you need to be mindful of your relationship with your father or father-like figures. This period can bring some challenges with them. So taking care of your father's health and taking care of your relationship with your father is very important during this time. For Taurus natives, this period can be positive for those who are connected with research work, archaeology, education, astrology, healing fields, or even spiritual healing as well. Saturn's retrograde movement in Purvabhadrapada can slowly bring some positive results in this area. But the best way to handle this energy is to stay grounded and to go with the flow. Try not to resist the challenges Saturn may bring in your life. Instead, accept what comes and keep moving steadily. Now, since Saturn is retrograde, there can be situations where you have to go back and redo things in your job or in matters linked to your 11th house. So the patience will be very important here. As of now, Jupiter is moving through your 2nd house, the sign of Gemini. And from 2nd house, it is aspecting your 8th house. But when Jupiter will enter the sign of Cancer, it will no longer aspect your 8th house, because its aspect will now move to the 9th house until Jupiter is present in the sign of Cancer. And at the same time, Saturn is aspecting your 5th house, the sign of Virgo, and also your 8th house, the sign of Sagittarius. So with Ketu's influence also on Sagittarius and retrograde Saturn's influence on Sagittarius and Saturn's aspect on the 5th house, this becomes a time to be careful with money. Avoid risky investments like speculation or gambling, because these may bring some ups and downs here. Safer options are really better choices for the future that will be more helpful. Saturn in your 11th house also wants to teach you about your real desires. Any unnecessary desires or goals or wishes that are not meant for you may slowly get cut away by Saturn. Situations may arise where you are forced to let go of desires that are not right for your path, and only genuine ones will stay. The choice will always be yours, whether to resist or flow with Saturn's lessons. If you stay steady and honest, Saturn will support you in fulfilling your true wishes, but only after consistent effort. Now, the third aspect of retrograde Saturn will fall on the sign of Taurus, your ascendant. Now, this can sometimes make you feel lazy or like procrastinating. Saturn may test you to see whether you are serious about your duties towards your family, towards your career, even yourself, your health as well, or whether you are trying to escape from them. You may feel like some task need to be done again and again. You might feel this redo energy in your life very prominently, and things are not moving easily in one go. At the same time, your health also needs special attention. Eating well, staying hydrated, doing yoga and pranayama, and keeping yourself active will really help you. Now, during this period, you may get confused. You may get confused or even frustrated over small things. Saturn's energy here is asking you to balance every part of your life. I know it is not easy to do that, but still, try to balance as much as you can. Keeping calm and acting wisely rather than reacting impulsively will make this time much smoother for you. Now, the 7th aspect of Saturn retro Saturn will fall on the sign of Virgo, your 5th house. For students, this means a lot of discipline will be needed. There may be a need to revise things over and over again, and distractions can easily pull you away from studies. For parents, you may see your children going through mood swings, laziness, or even small health issues, both physical and mental. Try to handle them with love, warmth, and with patience. Encourage your children without being harsh, and keep a warm approach. If you are pregnant, take extra care during this period. For love and relationships, this energy can feel mixed. On one side, for those who are into relationship, this period may bring some breakups, or they may face some dryness in the relationship. While for some who are not into any kind of relationship as of now, they may get a chance for new beginning, depending on their chart. You may feel a kind of inner tug of war between wanting to connect with your loved ones and at the same time feeling coldness and or distance in matters of love. Now the 10th aspect of Saturn will fall on the sign of Sagittarius. The retrograde Saturn's 10th aspect falls on Sagittarius, your 8th house, where Ketu is also aspecting. Now since Jupiter will move into the sign of Cancer, it will no longer be aspecting the sign of Sagittarius. This means the saving grace or the positive aspect of Jupiter will not be there on Sagittarius until Jupiter will be present in the sign of Cancer. So this is where you need to be cautious. Avoid risky speculative markets. Again, I am saying this, avoid risky speculative markets as much as possible, and only invest if it is necessary, and invest in safe assets. For some people, depending on their chart, this period may bring gains through inherited property or through their father if their chart supports. But at the same time, this energy can also bring some challenges in relationships with in-laws as well. So be careful in that. Health again becomes very important here because Jupiter will not be aspecting the sign of Sagittarius until December 5. So be careful. And if you already have long-term or chronic issues, please do not ignore them during this time. Gemini natives and moon sign. For Gemini natives, Saturn is currently retrograde in the sign of Pisces, your 10th house, and it will be entering Purvabhadrapada Nakshatra here. From mid-October till December 5, when Jupiter will be in the sign of Cancer, this period becomes very important because Jupiter's aspect on Saturn, because Jupiter will be aspecting this Saturn. So Jupiter's aspect on Saturn can give some support here. During this time, you may feel changes and challenges at work. Things might feel heavy at times, even though Jupiter gives a little relief here because it will be aspecting this retro Saturn here in Purvabhadrapada. But Saturn still will bring what it needs to bring. So expect some responsibilities and some hard work. If you have been waiting for a job for a long time, this period is favorable to get opportunities. But remember, the path may not be easy. You will need to work hard, and the results may come in Saturn's way. Not exactly as you might have imagined, or not exactly as you wanted. Redos and extra responsibilities are likely, so don't try to avoid them or push work onto others. Handle things calmly with honesty and sincerity. Saturn respects steady effort, and if you stay committed, it will reward you in the long run. There may also be misunderstandings with co-workers or higher authorities, but don't let these shake your confidence. Let challenges push you to grow and be a better person. Avoid impulsive decisions like quitting your job suddenly, or if you want change. Plan carefully and make sure you have something solid as a backup plan before taking a leap. This period is also a good period for learning new skills, improving yourself, and preparing for long-term growth. Patience, discipline, and hard work are your keys here during this time. Now, the third aspect of retrograde Saturn will fall on your 12th house sign of Sagittarius. This may bring some health issues, restlessness, and sleep disturbances. So take care of your mental and physical health. If your mind stays calm and positive, your body will also benefit as well from that. So this will help you in your physical issues if you are mentally strong and you're stress free. On a positive note, this period is very favorable for spirituality. Saturn's aspect combined with Jupiter's and Rahu's positions now supports real spiritual growth. Gemini natives can use this time for real spiritual awakening, reflection, and inner growth. It's a golden opportunity, so embrace it fully. Now, the seventh aspect of retrograde Saturn falls on the sign of Virgo, your fourth house, making it important to balance work life and personal life. You may feel pulled in both directions, which can create frustrations. You may feel like on one hand you are being pulled towards your home responsibilities, and on the other side you may feel like you are being pulled towards your career and the responsibilities there. So try to stay calm. I know balancing between these two things are never easy, but still try to stay calm and avoid letting anger or stress spill over onto your family or at work. The balance is something which is which can help you in maintaining peace in both the areas. So try to balance as much as you can. This period may also involve repairs, renovations, or even purchasing new property. Though hurdles are likely, take care of your mother's health and stay grounded. Patience and a peaceful approach will help you handle these responsibilities smoothly. Now, the 10th aspect of retrograde Saturn will fall on Sagittarius, your 7th house. And with Jupiter moving into the sign of Cancer, its protective influence on Sagittarius will temporarily shift and it will move towards the sign of Capricorn. So during this time, when Jupiter will not be aspecting Sagittarius, during this time, if you are married, then challenges or pressure could appear in your relationship. So handle these situations with warmth, care, and understanding. Facing challenges together with your spouse can bring positive transformation in the long run. And if you are unmarried, then this period can bring marriage, but be very careful here, because any relationship you enter now will be highly karmic in nature. So make sure that you know your partner well before moving forward. For those in businesses, avoid impulsive decisions, plan carefully, act with patience, maintain ethics, and don't rely on shortcuts. Saturn rewards disciplined, thoughtful effort, and long-term success only comes with these efforts and through steady and responsible action. Moon sign for Cancer native, Saturn is currently transiting the sign of Pisces, your 9th house, and it is retrograde there, and it will be entering Purvabhadrapada Nakshatra here. If you have been feeling restrictions in your luck or facing delays despite hard work, that this transit can bring positive results, but expect the unexpected. Outcomes may not appear exactly as you wanted or as you hoped, yet consistent effort, honesty, and pure intentions will be rewarded by Saturn. Remember that Saturn never supports shortcuts or unethical actions, so patience and perseverance and being on the right path, ethical path, are the key. Spiritually, this is a beautiful period. Saturn in Purvabhadrapada in the 9th house, combined with Jupiter soon entering your ascendant, its exaltation sign, provides an excellent opportunity for spiritual growth and divine connection. And even Rahu in the 8th house will if it goes positive, will enhance the spirituality even more. So walking the spiritual path now will also enhance your luck as well here. This is also a favorable timed for deep studies. Whether you are pursuing astrology, occult sciences, mysticism, archaeology, higher education, or on any field that requires in-depth learning, the knowledge that you gain now will stay with you for long term. Saturn's transit will also bring practical life lessons that shape your wisdom and personal growth. Professionals in teaching, law, healing, social services, spiritual fields may see slow but steady progress. When Jupiter enters your first house, the ascendant, it will aspect Saturn in the ninth house, helping you to overcome some delays, including those related to travel, particularly spiritual journeys here as well. So if you have been facing any delays or any hurdles in while traveling, or if you are not able to travel since a long time, then this is the period when Jupiter may bless you here. Now, retrograde Saturn's third aspect falls on your 11th house, Taurus. This will try to filter your desires and on ensuring only meaningful goals remain with you. You may need to sacrifice unnecessary desires here, and the results will depend on whether you flow with Saturn's guidance or you resist it. Financial gains are possible, but quick money schemes or unethical gains will backfire in the long run. Avoid high risky investments and speculative markets as well, and focus on saving and ethical growth. This period is excellent for spiritual advancement, as said earlier. So just go for it. And also, apart from that, your choices, whether in finances, your desires, and even in your spiritual practices, will determine your long-term outcomes, the long-term outcomes in your life. Now, the seventh aspect of retrograde Saturn will fall on the sign of Virgo, your third house. This period may help you to take some important steps, some bold steps regarding new initiations or new actions. However, it's crucial to avoid impulsive decisions. Frustration or inner conflict may push you towards hasty choices, but ensure all actions are practical, well thought out, and not emotionally driven. This transit can bring minor challenges with younger siblings or neighbors. So communicate with warmth and patience. Be mindful of your speech and avoid bluntness or harsh words, as Saturn's influence combined with Ketu's presence in the second house can make communication even more direct and harsh and blunt as well. If ignored, conflicts could escalate into long-term disputes or legal issues. So be careful with your speech. Now, Jupiter's upcoming transit into your ascendant will favor you temporarily, but staying grounded and wise is essential. Saturn's aspect on both your 11th house and your third house will refine your desires, guiding you to release unnecessary materialistic or ego-driven goals and focus only on what truly supports your growth. If you have a clear plan, patience, and a proper well thought out strategy, then this period can support long awaited projects or business ideas. But be thorough in your planning and prepare for every contingencies. Now, retrograde Saturn's 10th aspect will fall on your 6th house, the sign of Sagittarius. Now, when Jupiter will enter the sign of Cancer, it will no longer aspect your 6th house, the sign of Sagittarius. So, the saving grace of Jupiter on your 6th house will no longer be there until Jupiter is present in the sign of Cancer. So only retro Saturn and Ketu will be aspecting your 6th house. This means that your health, daily routine, your debts, your adversaries, legal matters, competitors, all these things will come to surface during this time. Take extra care of your health and avoid unnecessary conflicts. On a positive note, hard work in competitive exams or challenges may yield results now, provided you are patient and disciplined. Saturn's lessons from adversaries or obstacles will also guide you on overcoming difficulties. But beware of laziness, which these planetary combinations can trigger. Loans or financial commitments may come under scrutiny during this time, scrutiny of Saturn during this time. If you already have debts, expect a reality check on repayment capabilities. If planning to take a loan, anticipate challenges or extra effort in securing it. And even you might not get the exact amount of loan that you need. Maybe you may get a lesser amount of loan than what you needed. Such things can happen depending on your chart. Leo ascendants and moon sign. For Leo natives, retrograde Saturn is transiting the sign of Pisces, and your 8th house, and it will be entering the sign of the nakshatra of Purvabhadrapada. Now this period can bring sudden ups and downs, transformations and challenges, including health concerns as well. If you already have chronic conditions, please take extra care of yourself. Jupiter's upcoming transit into your 11th house, being the ruler of your 8th house and the dispositor of Saturn, can amplify health sensitivities, and with Ketu already present in the 7th house, so all these things and combinations can trigger health issues. So please stay active, avoid laziness, and be careful with your food habits and all the daily health routine that you may have. On a positive note, this is a golden period, a very beautiful period for spirituality. If you are already on a spiritual path, Saturn will help you dive even deeper and take your inner journey to the next level. During this time, hidden fears, truths, or even your hidden talents may come to surface during this time. Some revelations may be positive, like discovering hidden skills or knowledge, while some may highlight health issues or some other issues. So please stay attentive here. Financially, avoid high-risk investments, gambling, or quick money schemes. Safe or long-term options are recommended. If you have been waiting for inheritance, property, or asset, then this period may bring progress. If you are into toxic or any sort of stagnant relationship, then this period may help you move out of it. But this will also bring some or the other important lesson for you. Challenges or responsibilities related to your spouse or in-laws may arise. For businesses, patience and careful planning are essential. Rahu in the 7th house may provide creative, out-of-the-box ideas, but avoid impulsive or emotionally driven decisions. Proper research and strategy are crucial here. This is also an excellent period for deep study or research, particularly in astrology, occult, archaeology, or any subjects requiring serious, deep diving and focus. Professions like teaching, healing, insurance, or astrology may see some growth here. Now the third aspect of retrograde Saturn will fall on the sign of Taurus, your 10th house. Now this may increase your workload or bring stress at work, making it challenging to balance personal and professional life. You may also face some office politics here as well. Issues with co-workers or authority figures can also rise during this time. Avoid taking major career decisions out of frustration or anger during this time. Saturn will test your patience, and it will also test your discipline and ethics as well. But if you handle challenges honestly and if you stay committed, rewards will come gradually in the long run. Now the 7th aspect of retrograde Saturn will fall on the sign of Virgo, your 2nd house. During this period, you may feel unexplained frustration or tension at home, and this could be because of work pressure, stress from your career, or internal restlessness. Be mindful of your speech here. as it could become harsh or blunt, which might create miscommunication or tension with family. Patience, calmness, and wise communication are essential here. Health-wise, be careful with your diet. Eat healthy, stay hydrated, and avoid intoxicants, any sort of intoxicants, as Saturn here can create complications if you neglect your well-being. Financially, Jupiter's upcoming transit into your 12th house combined with Saturn's aspect on your 2nd house may increase expenses, creating minor financial crunch here. Avoid unnecessary spending, risky investments, or unethical shortcuts. Saturn supports only honest, disciplined financial planning. Now, the 10th aspect of retrograde Saturn will fall on the sign of Sagittarius, your 5th house. Jupiter, when it will enter the sign of Cancer, will no longer be aspecting this house, the sign of Sagittarius, for some time until it is present in Cancer. So, only retro Saturn and Ketu will be aspecting Sagittarius. So, pay close attention to your children's health and education during this period. This period can bring some misunderstandings with your children, or it might even happen that they may become lazy, or they may easily get distracted from their goals or from their studies. So try to push your children towards working hard. But yes, one thing to be careful here is that please be warm and careful. Don't be too harsh with them. Don't push them too much. Try to be loving and try to be warmth in your interactions, in your actions with your children. So try to balance things. Try to discipline them when needed, but also give your love and warmth when needed. Otherwise, if you try to push them too much, then this can create some even more misunderstandings or some relationship issues here. Also, for students, stay focused, avoid distractions, and embrace hard work here, because this period will demand hard work. Otherwise, Saturn will not support you. Apart from that, this period is also a very favorable period for spiritual growth, for spiritual practices as well. Pregnant women should take extra care during this time. On a positive note, Jupiter's aspect on Saturn on your 8th house can support you if you are willing to put an effort. Any challenges, whether related to your health, finances, or personal growth, can be managed successfully with patience, consistent effort, and wise action. And when Jupiter enters the sign of Cancer, one thing to be mindful of is that please stay away from any sort of gambling or speculative investments, because that period will not be a favorable period for that, or not a favorable period for impulsive financial decisions as well. Long-term, cautious planning and disciplined action will be a better choice here. Virgo ascendant and moon sign. For Virgo natives, Saturn is retrograde in the sign of Pisces, your 7th house, and it will be entering Purvabhadrapada Nakshatra here. Saturn here is both your 5th and your 6th lord. So this transit carries some important karmic and practical lessons here. Soon Jupiter, the lord of Pisces, will enter your 11th house, the sign of Cancer, from mid-October, from October 18th till December 5. During this time, Jupiter will aspect Saturn in Pisces, creating some protective influence over the challenges Saturn may bring. If you are unmarried, this period can bring marriage prospects, but remember that relationships during this time will be highly karmic in nature. So be sure before stepping forward, understand the person very well and act wisely before taking any major decision. For those who are married, this transit may bring some challenges or tensions in your relationship. Saturn being retrograde in this nakshatra will test your bonds. But however, since Jupiter will be in Cancer, so temporarily Jupiter's aspect can help smooth over difficulties. This is a good period for to actively work on relationship issues that you may have with your spouse. A good period to mend gaps and deal with problems with patience and love. Those in toxic relationship may find an opportunity to exit gracefully, learning important lessons in the process. During this time, responsibilities in marriage may increase and your spouse's health may require some attention. You may feel frustrated, distant, or cold at some times in your marriage, but it's crucial to stay calm, respectful, and communicative. Both partners need to contribute equally towards understanding and resolving issues. For those in business or planning new ventures, this can be a favorable period only if decisions are well planned and carefully thought through. Avoid impulsive actions, and fields like law, medicine, healing, auditing, communication, and education may see growth during this time, but success will require consistent hard work. And if your chart supports, this period can bring promotions, increments, or recognition may also come. But your public image will be influenced by the way you communicate. So maintain humility, respect, and calm tone. Now, retrograde Saturn's third aspect will fall on the sign of Taurus, your ninth house. This emphasizes the need for extra effort to make your luck work in your favor. You will need patience, perseverance, and serious hard work. Shortcuts will not be rewarded by Saturn. For students into higher studies, this is a demanding period, requiring revisions, repeated practice, and consistent study. But knowledge gained now will remain with you for a longer period. This period may also bring some misunderstandings or challenges with your father figures, teachers, or even your mentors, and you may need to pay attention to your father's health as well during this time. Spiritually, this is a strong period. Saturn in the 7th house aspecting your 9th house, your ascendant and the 4th house, and combined with Ketu in the 12th house. All this combination provides a deep and a good support for sincere spiritual practice. It's an ideal time to deepen your connection with the divine through your spirituality. This is the period to do that. And this will also help you deepen your inner knowledge as well. And it is very much recommended for Virgo natives to be on spiritual path during this period, as it will help you a lot in overcoming many challenges that Saturn may bring here in the sign of Pisces during this transit. Now, the 7th aspect of retrograde Saturn will fall on the sign of Virgo, your ascendant, your first house. Now, this makes it a very important period for your overall well-being, your personal growth here. Health-wise, you need to take special care. With Rahu transiting your 6th house, it can help you overcome some health challenges here, but you will still need to actively work on them. Any health issues that arise will require your attention, discipline, and consistent effort. Focus on eating healthy, sattvic meals, drinking plenty of fluids, and avoid spicy, oily junk food. Avoid intoxications as much as possible. Stay and prioritize habits that support your long-term health. Do yoga, pranayama, exercises, anything that supports your well-being. Retrograde Saturn aspecting your ascendant also influences your overall energy, personality, and self-discipline. You may feel a strong push towards personal transformation. Saturn will test your ability to balance various aspects of your life, which may feel challenging, but even small efforts towards balance will bring positive results. This is also a good time to work on daily routines, weight management, and building disciplined habits. Avoid laziness, as negative Saturn energy can encourage laziness and procrastination. So instead, embrace structure and consistency, and be disciplined. Spiritually, this is a powerful period for growth, as said earlier. Now, the 10th aspect of retrograde Saturn will fall on the sign of Sagittarius, your 4th house. Now, as of now, Jupiter is transiting the sign of Gemini. That's why it is aspecting your 4th house. But once Jupiter enters the sign of Cancer from October mid this year until December 5, until Jupiter is present in the sign of Cancer, it will not aspect your 4th house. It will be aspecting your 5th house. So the protective or the protective grace or the blessing of Jupiter will no longer be there on your 4th house Sagittarius. Only Saturn, retro Saturn and Ketu will be aspecting your 4th house during this time until Jupiter is present in Cancer. So it's important to take care of your mother's health, even your emotional well-being and your peace of mind as well. Some challenges related to your home, property or renovations may arise. So it's advisable to avoid buying property or making major home-related investments during this time. Even during renovations or repair work, you may find some or the other hurdles. Emotionally, you may feel a sense of dissatisfaction or dryness in your home life or in your relationship with your family. So meanwhile, seek happiness in small things, maintain emotional stability and practice patience. This is a period of discipline, personal transformation and spiritual opportunity. Handling it wisely will set the stage for long-term growth and stability. Libra ascendant and moon sign. For Libra natives, Saturn is retrograde in the sign of Pisces, your 6th house, and will be entering Purvabhadrapada Nakshatra here. At the same time, Jupiter will soon shift into the sign of Cancer, your 10th house. And from there, it will aspect this Saturn. This means that even though challenges will come your way, Jupiter's grace will give you some support to handle them. Now, Saturn rules your 4th and your 5th house. And while it is retrograde in your 6th house, it can bring health issues, some competition, daily life struggle or situations when you feel pressure from enemies or hidden opponents. But as long as Jupiter aspects this Saturn, you will still find a way to slowly come out of those challenges. The process won't be quick, but step by step you will overcome them. This is also the time when Saturn will not allow you to escape or run away from any problems. Instead, it will make you face them directly. Even if it feels heavy, the purpose of Saturn is to make you stronger, wiser, and more patient. Saturn in the 6th house also activates your prarabdha karma, and this Saturn is retrograde, that also in Purvabhadrapada. So some of your pending karmas, whether from this life or from the past life, or even from the past of this life, that may be brought to the surface now, so that they can be completed. That is why this period may feel intense or demanding at times. You may also notice that many things in your daily life require redoing. Tasks may not be finished in one attempt, but don't be frustrated, because the redos are part of the karmic cleaning process. For those who have been searching for a job, this transit can bring opportunities if your chart supports it, especially if you have been working hard with honesty and without shortcuts. Saturn will use discipline and persistence. So sincere effort will show results. If you are preparing for exams or competitions, this can also be a supportive period. Again, only if your dedication has been genuine. This time can also create challenges in your workplace, especially your subordinates, your co-workers, even your employees as well. Misunderstandings or back and forth issues may happen. This can also happen with at your home as well, maybe with the house help as well. So handle such situations with patience and calm communication. At home too, there may be some some issues related to property or differences with family, children, or maternal relatives. So awareness is needed in those areas as well. Health is one of the main areas to be careful about now. Saturn in the 6th house aspecting your 8th house and the 12th house can show health issues. Avoid alcohol, smoking, or any kind of intoxication, and keep your food, your lifestyle clean as much as possible. Discipline in your daily routine life, including being disciplined in your sleep routines, eating healthy, exercising daily will help you the most during this period. Financially, avoid impulsive or risky investments. Speculation, gambling, or high risk ventures are not favorable. If you must invest, stick to long term and safe choices. With Rahu also in Purvabhadrapada, impulsive decisions in investments can create unnecessary losses. So patience and wisdom are very important here. On a brighter side, this is an excellent time for professions connected to law, medicine, healing, auditing, research, or any work that requires detailed study. Spiritually too, this period is highly supportive. Saturn in the 6th is its aspect on the 8th and the 12th house will bring some deep transformations when it comes to spirituality. If you really want to walk the path of spirituality, then. Now retro Saturn will be aspecting your 8th house, the sign of Taurus here, which will bring some changes, some ups and downs, and some transformations in your life. With Jupiter's presence in your 10th house, Jupiter's upcoming transit in the sign of Cancer, and Saturn's aspect on your 8th house, this can open doors for learning in fields like astrology, spiritual sciences, mythology. And if you are inclined towards these fields, including meditation or occult knowledge, then this is one of the best times to go deeper. Yes, there will be some ups and downs in your life during this period, and some challenges may feel heavy, but always remember, nothing will come your way that you cannot handle with a calm and a steady mind. If you remain patient and disciplined, Saturn will transform you into someone stronger and more grounded than before. Now the 7th aspect of retrograde Saturn will fall on your 12th house, the sign of Virgo. This can disturb your sleep, and it can make it harder to rest properly. Try to reduce stress as much as possible and avoid things like alcohol, smoking, or any form of intoxication, because they will only make the problem worse. Also, please don't depend on sleeping pills. Instead, practices like meditation, yoga, pranayama can help calm your mind, which will also improve your health and naturally support better sleep. Expenses can also increase during this period, so try not to spend unnecessarily and keep your finances in check. Now the 10th aspect of retro Saturn will fall on your 3rd house, the sign of Sagittarius. Now remember that once Jupiter moves into Cancer, it will no longer aspect Sagittarius. This means Sagittarius will be left under the influence of only retrograde Saturn and Ketu for some time until Jupiter is in Cancer. So without Jupiter's support, you may feel low in motivation or confidence, especially when it comes to starting something new. At times, this can create frustration, and out of that frustration, you might be tempted to taking impulsive actions or decisions related to your initiations or some quick decisions without proper planning or thought. So be mindful of this and try to act only after careful consideration, a well-structured plan, and with proper planning and with wisdom. Otherwise, those actions, those decisions regarding your investments regarding your initiations may backfire later. This period can also bring small issues with your neighbors, so keep that in mind and avoid unnecessary involvement in conflicts. You should also be careful about your speech. Saturn's influence here can make your words sound harsher and even sometimes cold as well. Which may lead to misunderstandings as well. The same applies to your younger siblings here, as there is chance of clashes or emotional distance. The best way to handle this time is with calmness, patience, and wise communication, so that small issues don't turn into bigger ones. Scorpio ascendants and moon sign. For Scorpio natives, Saturn is retrograde in the sign of Pisces, your 5th house, and it will be transiting Purvabhadrapada Nakshatra here. Now, at the same time, Jupiter will soon enter Cancer, your 9th house, and it will aspect this retro Saturn. Saturn rules your 3rd and your 4th house. So, this transit brings a mix of practical lessons and some deep inner work here. First, if I talk about your children, then Saturn in the 5th house retrograde here in Purvabhadrapada will ask for some responsibility and some steady effort if you are a student. If you are a parent, watch your relationship with your children carefully, because this period can bring some misunderstandings with your children. Some of you may even notice some health issues of your children, so please pay attention to that as well. If children have been lazy with studies or procrastinating for a long time, then Saturn can push them back to discipline. If you guide them with love, care, and with some discipline, then they can focus and do well. For students, this period demands serious hard work. As said earlier, you might have to revise things over and over again many times, but the knowledge you gain now will stay with you for a long time. Saturn gives practical lessons, not just theoretical lessons. So Saturn will teach you a lot, not only to students but in general to everyone. Saturn this time can bring some lessons, real practical life lessons for you. Now, if you are trying to conceive or have been waiting for adopting a child, then this transit can bring positive results. Again, that will depend on your personal chart. If you are unmarried, then this time can also bring marriage or some romantic prospects. But remember, relationships that you enter now will be highly karmic in nature. So think carefully before committing. Know the person well and move with wisdom rather than hurry. On a positive side, this is a wonderful time for learning and spiritual growth. Saturn and Jupiter together can help you learn things that will last for a longer time. Whether you want to move forward with spirituality, if you want to enhance your spiritual knowledge, your spirituality, whether it is regarding any subject that you are studying right now, whether it is anything, including meditation, mantra chanting, everything, this is a very supportive period. Both Jupiter and Saturn will support you here. If you are a teacher, healer, doctor, counselor, or someone who works with children or animals, then you may see some steady growth. People in these fields will see some positive results. Financially, avoid risky investments, speculative investments, and gambling, as these are not favored now. Think long term and choose low risk options. If you must invest, prefer safe and long term investments rather than quick money ideas, which will not be favored by Saturn. Now, the third aspect of retrograde Saturn will fall on the sign of Taurus, your 7th house. So this can bring marriage prospects for you if you are unmarried. But as said earlier, the relationship you enter now will be highly karmic in nature. So be very thoughtful before proceeding. Also, if you are already married, then communication will be the key here. Be warm, loving, and considerate and respectful with your partner. Speak openly and with warmth, love, and care. If you are in business, this period can bring changes or fluctuations, but don't rush into big deals. Review things carefully and avoid impulsive choices about partnerships. Overall, this aspect will bring some ups and downs and will ask you to work hard, whether it's in your career, your business, or in your relationship. Saturn often teaches through test, but if you accept the lessons, face responsibilities, and act with patience, you will become more stronger, wiser, and more grounded. Take care of your spouse's health during this time and be careful in your decisions when it comes to business or marriage. Now, the seventh aspect of retrograde Saturn will fall on the sign of Virgo, your 11th house. During this time, you may feel a little pressure in finances, like your income is not enough or your desires are not being fulfilled. But even if it feels tight, you will still be able to manage things somehow. Your luck will give you just enough support to handle things. What you need to do here is to keep your expenses low and spend only where it's necessary, and try to save money as much as you can. Avoid luxury spending or wasting money on things that you really don't need. And also, please don't put your money into risky investments or quick money ideas without proper thought. Be wise and practical in investments. You might also feel that many of your wishes or desires are not getting fulfilled. Saturn will only allow those desires which are truly needed for your growth. So instead of resisting, try to stay contented with what you have and what you get. The more you accept and go with the flow, the easier this phase becomes. At the same time, Jupiter, when it will enter the sign of Cancer, it will be aspecting your third house, the sign of Capricorn, which will increase your desires. While Saturn is aspecting your 11th house, which will try to hold those desires back. Saturn will try to hold them back. So you may feel push and pull in these two directions. This can create frustration that you have some desire, but those desires are not getting fulfilled. Anyway, even though your desires are getting fulfilled, they are not getting fulfilled in the way you wanted. So this can create frustration, anger. But remember, Saturn is not punishing you. It is teaching you contentment. So just go with the flow and try to be accepting of the situation. And be happy with what you have and what you get. And please stay away from any unfair or unethical ways of making money. Saturn always blesses honest effort. If you remain sincere, disciplined, and do the right things, then by the time Saturn finishes its transit in Pisces, you will see real financial progress that lasts long term. Saturn first tests you, then rewards you. So patience is needed. This aspect can also bring some challenges in your social circle or with elder siblings. But these challenges will help you understand who your true well-wishers are. Now, the 10th aspect of retrograde Saturn will fall on your second house, the sign of Sagittarius. Once Jupiter moves into Cancer, it will no longer aspect your second house, the sign of Sagittarius. So this means only retrograde Saturn and Ketu will influence the sign of Sagittarius, your second house, until Jupiter is present in Cancer. Because of this, you may feel restricted in your finances. It may seem like no matter how much you earn, expenses quickly take it away. This can feel frustrating, but the key is to stay calm, save wherever and whenever you can, and avoid showing off with money. Saturn does not support using money for pride or luxuries, especially if it's done just to impress others. If you try shortcuts or unethical ways of making money during this time, it will not last long and may even backfire. Honest efforts are the only way forward. Responsibilities at home and in your family may also increase. There could be some frustration in your family environment as well, and even some health concerns or for family members here. So take care in this area. Also, because Jupiter's grace will not be there on the sign of Sagittarius, your second house, your speech can become more blunt or harsh during this period. So please be very careful with your words, both at home and at work. Speak thoughtfully, because once words are spoken, they can't be taken back. So be careful in your speech. Sagittarius ascendant and moon sign. For Sagittarius natives, Saturn is retrograde in the sign of Pisces, and it will be entering Purvabhadrapada Nakshatra in your 4th house. Now at home, you may feel frustrated or emotionally distant, especially with your family, your mother. And also, health concerns of your mother may arise. Responsibilities at home could increase, and you might feel restricted and stretched between personal life and career. This period can also bring any construction or renovation work at your home. But be careful with the planning in that part, because this can bring some delays, obstacles or hurdles which are likely. Acts of service during this period, like helping others, whether emotionally or financially, can bring positive karmic returns and reduce Saturn's pressure here. So it is good to do that. Jupiter, when it will enter Cancer, will aspect this Saturn, which will add a spiritual touch here, making this an excellent period for spiritual growth. Also, this period will bring some real practical life lessons for you, which will add on to your growth in your life, whether it's in your career life, whether it's in your personal life, family life, or whether it's regarding even spirituality as well. Now, the third aspect of retro Saturn will fall on your 6th house, Taurus. This may slow you down in daily routine life or highlight lingering health issues. Enemies or competitors might become more active, but patience and wisdom will help you overcome them. Students or those preparing for competitive exams may feel pressure here, but consistent effort will yield good results. Now, the 7th aspect of retrograde Saturn will fall on Virgo, your 10th house. Now, this may increase your responsibilities at workplace, heavier workloads, redos, office stress, misunderstandings with bosses, work politics, everything may increase. Also, this period will create this push and pull energy. This will feel like push and pull between your personal life and your professional life. You may feel pulled between home duties and career ambitions. So, finding balance and staying patient will be necessary. I know this is not easy to do. Creating this balance is not easy, but try as much as you can. For job seekers, Saturn can bring opportunities, but only through sincere, disciplined effort. Hard work, honesty, and persistence during this transit are essential. By the end of Saturn's transit in the sign of Pisces, the results will slowly start showing positively, rewarding your patience and dedication. Now, the 10th aspect of retrograde Saturn will fall on the sign of Sagittarius, your ascendant itself. Now, when Jupiter will enter the sign of Cancer, it will no longer aspect your ascendant. Only retro Saturn and Ketu will be aspecting Sagittarius until Jupiter is present in the sign of Cancer. So, Jupiter's grace won't be there on Sagittarius. So, please don't run away from your responsibilities now. Be present, be patient, and walk on the path of ethics with humility. Do your karma, accept your duties, and trust that you are being prepared for something much bigger than you can see right now. Saturn's 10th aspect on your ascendant and its 3rd aspect on your 6th house. Your health should not be ignored, which is very important. Take care of it, and on top of that, your ascendant lord Jupiter, when it will move into the sign of Cancer, your 8th house, your health will be even more important. So be very cautious about your health, lifestyle choices during this period. On a deeper level, this transit will bring big personal transformations in your life. With Jupiter in the 8th house, Saturn aspecting your ascendant, life will push you into changes that may feel heavy at first, but are meant to make you stronger and wiser. Spiritually, this is a very powerful period because your Moksha Trikona is getting activated. This is one of the best period to deepen your spiritualities, spiritual practices, meditation and inner journey as well. Also, Saturn will make you face your fears and challenges during this period, but once you go through them, you will come out more resilient, calm and steady. So instead of resisting these lessons, embrace them with grace. Saturn's lessons are never easy, but if you handle them with patience, this period will transform you into more mature, pure, balanced and a spiritually evolved person. Capricorn ascendant and moon sign. For Capricorn natives, Saturn is retrograde in the sign of Pisces, your third house, and it will be entering Purvabhadrapada Nakshatra year. At the same time, Jupiter will soon enter the sign of Cancer, your seventh house, and it will aspect the Saturn as well as your ascendant. This makes this period quite important for you. If you have been struggling with confidence or taking action, if you have been hesitant about starting something new, a new venture, or making important decisions in your life, then this transit will start pushing you to take those steps. And Jupiter will also provide the necessary confidence and guidance. Saturn may slow things down or create some hurdles here, but Jupiter's support will also give you the wisdom to move in the right direction and what things you should do to improve. The only thing to remember is not to be impulsive. Whatever you start now must be well planned, well structured and well thought out. Saturn works slowly, but it also works steadily. So the more effort you put in, the more lasting the results will be. And yes, this period can also bring a lot of redos as well in any new initiation. During this time, you also need to be very mindful of your speech and thoughts. Rahu is positioned in the second house, Saturn is retro in the third house in Purvabhadrapada, so your words and communication may cause misunderstandings if you are not careful. It's important to use the Jupiterian wisdom and Saturn's patience here and use your words wisely, especially with your neighbors and also with your siblings or the people close to you. Miscommunication can create unnecessary problems, so mindfulness in speech is very important. And when Jupiter will enter Cancer, it can bring some major events related to these areas, especially something related to your neighbors. Yes, of course, Jupiter will try to calm things down until it is present in Cancer, but definitely it can bring some major events in these areas as mentioned earlier. This is also the time when Saturn may ask you to let go of certain desires or habits. If you are holding on to those desires that are not good for you according to Saturn for your long-term growth, then Saturn will slowly cut them away. Sometimes it can feel like a sacrifice, but it is meant to guide you towards something better. So instead of resisting, it's better to accept what you have and what you get and go with the flow. If you are planning to travel, try to avoid unnecessary trips during this time. Even if travel is needed, please plan it very carefully. Overall, this is time to work hard, stay patient and be mindful in communication. If you do that, Saturn will give you slow but steady growth and also teach you important lessons that will make you wiser and stronger in the long run. Now the third aspect of retrograde Saturn will fall on the sign of Taurus, your fifth house. This is the time when you need to pay special attention to your children's health and well-being. Responsibilities towards your children may increase and naturally your focus will shift towards them and also to their studies, their routine and their overall care. If you are a student yourself, then you may find it a little hard to concentrate on studies. Saturn here will push you to revise things again and again. So the key will be discipline, structure and proper time management. That is why That is what will help you the most in your learning. You might also feel some restriction in your fun and enjoyment part of your life. And if you are pregnant, then please prioritize your health during this time. This is very important. At the same time, on a positive note, Saturn's third aspect on the fifth house is a very good for spiritual growth. It can give you spirituality can give you clarity of mind and inner balance. So this is the right time to strengthen your spiritual practices, whether it's mantra chanting, through mantra chanting, or meditation, or any kind of spiritual practice that helps you feel closer to the divine. This will bring you peace and stability during this transit. Now the seventh aspect of retro Saturn will fall on the sign of Virgo, your ninth house. You may feel your luck is stagnant or things aren't moving fast, but Saturn isn't denying results here. It's asking you to grow wiser. This period encourages deeper spiritual search, reconnecting with higher purpose and learning life's lesson through experiences. In regards to traveling, you may face some hurdles or delays in it, and also be very careful while traveling. Also, and to be very honest, traveling is not advisable for Capricorn natives during this time. You may notice some tension or distance in your relationship with your father or mentors. Be careful with your father's health as well during this period. Now the 10th aspect of retrograde Saturn will fall on the sign of Sagittarius, your 12th house. Jupiter will soon move into the sign of Cancer, and when it will enter the sign of Cancer, it will no longer aspect Sagittarius, your 12th house. It will be only retro Saturn and Ketu aspecting Sagittarius. So until Jupiter is present in Cancer, it will not aspect Sagittarius. The saving grace of Jupiter will not be there. As Saturn is aspecting your 5th, 9th and 12th house, this is a very good period for spiritual growth, a very good period for meditation, mantra chanting, prayers and other soul connecting practices that will bring deeper inner growth and divine connection. Health remains important during this transit. With Jupiter no longer blessing your 12th house, you may experience some major health issues, some major sleep disturbances here during this time. Staying stress-free, avoiding late nights, reducing screen time, and practicing meditation pranayama will help maintain balance. Not a good time for traveling abroad. For professionals in healing, counseling, Ayurveda, yoga, teaching, therapy or spiritual guidance, this transit can open doors for growth, providing opportunities to serve others and make meaningful progress in your career. Aquarius ascendant and moon sign. For Aquarius native, Saturn is retrograde in the sign of Pisces, your second house, and it will be entering Purvabhadrapada Nakshatra here. During this time, you need to be careful about your health, especially throat, mouth, and eye related issues. Throat infections can be very common for you during this time, and practically if you think about it, from mid October we have the festival of Diwali in India, where people eat lots of sweets, fried food, outside food, and people also burst a lot of crackers. So all of this can increase problems related to throat and mouths because of the unhealthy food and the pollution. And for Aquarius ascendants, Aquarius natives, it can affect you more easily. So it's better to eat healthy, drink plenty of water and keep your diet clean as much as possible. Try to avoid intoxications as much as possible. Soon Jupiter will enter your 6th house, the sign of Cancer, while Rahu is in your 4th house, Ketu is in the 7th house. Together this combination can increase health concerns. So please take care of your body and maintain discipline in your habits during this transit. Saturn being in the 2nd house, retrograde in Purvabhadrapada, can also bring some restrictions in finances. You may notice an increase in family responsibilities as well. You could feel that your attention is being pulled towards your family matters, and at times they may feel heavy because of this. Because of Saturn's energy in Purvabhadrapada, you may also feel frustrated or get angry over small things, especially with family members or people who live with you. So be mindful of your reactions and try to stay calm. Since Saturn is your 12th lord placed in the second house, expenses can increase in this period. And with Rahu in the first house, there can be tendency to run after unnecessary desires and luxuries, and even spend money just to show off. Please don't fall for this illusion. Saturn will not support unnecessary expenditure. If you manage your money wisely, spend only where it's truly needed, and save wherever possible, then by the end of Saturn's stay in Pisces, you will feel financial relief. Also pay attention to your eating habits. You might feel drawn towards cold food, as said earlier, junk food, sweets or oily food, but this will only harm you in the long run. So try to remain disciplined in your diet and focus more on fresh and healthy food. One important thing is speech. Saturn here can make your words sound blunt, harsh or cold, especially with family. Even if you don't mean it, your tone may come across as too direct. So be mindful of how you speak to loved ones and try to be softer in your communication. Financially, this period may demand more hard work. If you have been trying to rely on shortcuts or easy ways to earn money, Saturn will not allow that. But if you remain honest, disciplined and patient, then Saturn will bless you with stability and financial strength in the long run. Now the third aspect of retrograde Saturn will fall on your 4th house, the sign of Taurus. Responsibilities at home will increase during this period, even if you want to focus on yourself with Rahu's presence in the 1st house, because Rahu will try to shift your focus towards yourself. So even if you want to focus on yourself because of Rahu's presence in the 1st house, Saturn will keep pulling you towards family duties. It may feel heavy, especially if you are not naturally inclined towards home-related responsibilities. Frustration or emotional distance could appear, and minor arguments may arise. The key is to stay calm and accept responsibilities with patience and approach situations wisely. Be particularly mindful of your mother's health. She may need emotional support or care. Small misunderstandings might occur, but handling them calmly will please Saturn, as it rewards patience, maturity and responsibility. Now the 7th aspect of retrograde Saturn will fall on Virgo, your 8th house. Health and diet require extra attention here. Saturn here can bring some hidden or chronic issues to the surface. Relationship with your in-laws may also be highlighted during this period, with potential ego clashes unless approached with humility. Financially, avoid risky or impulsive investments. The 8th house can bring sudden gains or losses, so be very careful with investments. If you are expecting inheritance or legal settlements, movement may occur, but only if your personal chart allows here. Emotionally and psychologically, buried fears or unresolved issues may surface. Saturn brings these up not to burden you, but to help you heal. Stay calm and let things unfold naturally, and face your fears, because only facing fears will help you come out of it. Now the 10th aspect of retrograde Saturn will fall on your 11th house, the sign of Sagittarius. When Jupiter moves into the sign of Cancer, it will not aspect Sagittarius, because as of now Jupiter is aspecting Sagittarius, and when it will move to Cancer, it will not aspect Sagittarius, it will aspect Capricorn then. So the saving grace of Jupiter will not be there on Sagittarius. It will be only retro Saturn and Ketu aspecting your 11th house. So financial pressures may be felt. You may notice desires growing while resources remain limited. This is Saturn teaching you to to differentiate between necessary and unnecessary desires. It's important to limit expenses, unnecessary expenses, focus on essentials, and avoid chasing material pleasures or temporary satisfactions. Contentment is key. If you follow this discipline, Saturn will eventually fulfill your valid desires. Socially, there may be changes in your circle of friends. Old friends might drift away and new connections may form. Saturn is purifying your social circle, leaving only genuine relationships. At work, responsibilities may increase and expectations from seniors or your team could feel heavy during this period. Saturn is teaching patience, discipline, and diligence. Handling these responsibilities sincerely will bring long-term recognition and respect. So handle things wisely in your career. Pisces ascendant and moon sign. For Pisces natives, Saturn is transiting the sign of Pisces, your ascendant, and it is retrograde and it will be entering Purvabhadrapada Nakshatra here. Saturn rules your 11th and 12th house. And during this time, your ascendant Lord Jupiter will be moving into Cancer, your 5th house, from October 19th till December 5. While Jupiter is in Cancer, it will aspect your ascendant and Saturn here, which acts as a saving grace. Even though Saturn is retrograde in Purvabhadrapada, Jupiter's aspect will provide some protection, balance, and guidance, though Saturn's intensity will still be felt here. Now, this transit will be very important for Pisces natives because your ascendant itself becomes highly active because of Saturn's retrograde here and Jupiter's aspect on this Saturn and also on your ascendant. Jupiter's aspect on Saturn will bring many important shifts in your overall life. The first thing to focus here is your health. Since retrograde Saturn, your 12th lord, is sitting in your ascendant and Rahu is in your 12th house, Ketu is in the 6th house. This combination makes health a priority. Even though Jupiter will bring some sort of saving grace, but you cannot take your health lightly. There could be medical expenses and hospitalization in some cases only if your chart supports, or flare-ups of chronic health conditions if you have any. If you are already suffering from long-term health concerns, then extra care is necessary. This is also a time when Saturn may force you to let go of unhealthy patterns. Habits like smoking, drinking, late night lifestyle, or any form of intoxication, or any form of unhealthy lifestyle can become more damaging now. So it's strongly advisable to leave them behind. Saturn wants discipline, and Jupiter's grace will help you if you take the right steps. If you are planning to lose weight, this period can help you, but only if you remain consistent with proper effort and discipline. Saturn retrograde in Purvabhadrapada will also test you through sacrifices and lessons in detachment. This doesn't always mean negative losses. It could be negative or positive depending on your chart, but it can show up some or the other sacrifices during this time. It could be loss of wealth, loss of comfort, loss of certain relationship, even sacrifice of bad habits for a healthier lifestyle, letting go of ego, sacrificing your ego, learning the value of patience. So these kind of things may happen. Even sometimes you may feel like you're losing things, but actually Saturn is pushing you towards transformation and towards something more stable and meaningful. This transit can also make you feel lazy or demotivated at times. So staying disciplined, active, and consistent is crucial. Avoid procrastination and focus in maintaining your routines. Spiritually, this is a golden period for those who are genuinely on the path of inner growth. If you engage in spiritual practices like mantra chanting, meditation, yoga, sadhana, or other spiritual practices, this will greatly enhance your physical, mental health, and also your spiritual spirituality as well. Those involved in healing professions, research, astrology, archaeology, those into spiritual guidance may see some positive results here. However, it's important to stay positive mentally. Saturn in your ascendant can bring fears of self-doubt, low energy, as said earlier, or even mild depression. Staying connected to trusted people, communicating your challenges, your problems with the people you trust, and focusing on your inner strength will help you navigate these fluctuations. Even if progress feels slow, Saturn is working deeply from within to transform you. This is for your own good, your own betterment. Now the third aspect of retrograde Saturn will fall on your third house, the sign of Taurus. Now Saturn being positioned in the first house in Purvabhadrapada and aspecting your third house. So this combination can bring you face to face with your fears. Fear, this period can also bring fear of starting something new, fear of speaking of, fear of failing. These fears may not be entirely real, but are meant to test your preparedness. You might feel hesitant about starting a project or venture, but Saturn isn't stopping you. It's asking you to go slow, review your plans, learn from your past mistakes, and move steadily. Don't move impulsively. Communication is also under Saturn's aspect here, so words now carry weight. So speak mindfully and with humility. Avoid harsh, cold, or careless words, especially with neighbors or your younger siblings, as conflicts may arise. With Saturn as your 12th lord in the first house, Rahu in the 12th, old fears, real or imagined, may also surface. So face your fears, come out of it rather than running away from your fears. This will help you a lot with your growth, and Saturn will also help you if you face your fears. Saturn itself will help you. Now the seventh aspect of retrograde Saturn will fall on your seventh house, the sign of Virgo. Relationships, especially marriage, are under Saturn's watch. Misunderstandings or tensions with your spouse may occur. Responsibilities regarding your partner's health, your daily matters in your marriage may come into light. Also, many things in your married life may feel heavy during this time, but handling them with patience, calmness, and thoughtful communication will strengthen your bond. For unhealthy or toxic relationships, Saturn can help create space or guide you to walk away if that is what's best for your soul. Business owners or partners may face tests as well. Plans might need rechecking, strategy revised, or agreements carefully reviewed. Avoid hasty decisions. Every important step requires thoughtful timing and solid research. Your public image and partnerships are under review, so approach every matter with patience, discipline, and attention to detail. Now the 10th aspect of retrograde Saturn falls on your 10th house, the sign of Sagittarius. Jupiter will soon enter the sign of Cancer, and as of now Jupiter from Gemini is aspecting Sagittarius, but when it will enter the sign of Cancer, it will not be aspecting this Sagittarius. Only retro Saturn and Ketu will be aspecting Sagittarius until Jupiter is present in the sign of Cancer. So this can bring some challenges, office politics, increased workload, and the need to redo tasks or restructure systems. You may notice slow progress, and results will not be instant in your career. For job seekers, this is still a favorable period, but hard work, patience, and persistence are essential. Saturn will not entertain shortcuts or avoidance of responsibility, whether in personal life, professional life, or even related to yourself as well. Study, effort, discipline, and integrity will ultimately lead to long-term career growth and more stable future. You may notice your public image or social interactions shifting. People may expect more from you, but your work is not being recognized, or you may feel misunderstood or unseen. So try to be calm and patient here rather than getting frustrated or being impulsive in your actions or reactions. Try to stay calm and patient, and the same Saturn will guide you through any challenges that you are facing. So that's it for today. Please do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel. Meet you in the next video. Till then, Narayan, Narayan.